Hi, Carissa. If you want to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, here is your Inkblot made in your name and essence. If you want to take a screenshot, but I'm going to take a moment here as requested to add a little smudge. So if you'd like to close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath. And receive the winds like wind chimes coming through as though they're like twinkling around you, around your whole physical body, outside the aura, like really close, about a foot, and then allowing those chimes to kind of wander out a little bit farther, a little bit farther, and a little bit farther.
How do you feel?
But they're actually closer. Maybe taking notice and taking stock of how you feel. Feeling well and grounded. I feel like there's a lot of paths and patterns around you, but they're very organic. But we're just going to cleanse these paths right now. So whichever one you decide to take, whichever ones they lead to, past, present, or future, sense the white light or the white smoke of the sage wafting down each of these pathways. Beautiful. Take a moment to feel that, and I'm going to start transitioning. Thank you so much, Carissa, for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. I also want to note, whenever you're ready, to come back. I tried doing your reading a few times at nighttime, and it was a no-go for whatever reason. So you are like an early morning scry. Like very early morning scry. So I don't know if you're a morning person, morning voice and all. It's just your time. There's something about the sun rising. Also something about the sun setting. But not so much like a focus on like late at night. I don't know. Maybe you do lead nocturnally, or it's the opposite. Like I don't lead nocturnally. Very much these bookends. I'm going to scry your ink in a moment, add on Tarot and Oracle, and of course we've got the spirit box here kicking as well. Your poker hand. That came through. Let's see what came in. Okay. Forgiveness, friendship, and family. If you want to take a screenshot, compassion, strength, lighten your load. Actually, you have more than a poker hand. Okay, well, that's okay. So I'm going to take a moment just to kind of set the stage with this and see what comes through. All right.
Wounded.
I'm going to take a moment, Carissa, if you'd like to join me, to close the eyes. Cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Carissa. Okay, so I noticed that I've done things slightly out of my own order. Maybe that's something that you can resonate with in whatever choices or decisions, or maybe something very specific. I feel like it ultimately doesn't matter, the combination or the ingredients. I know in some cases it very much so does, but that's why I'm saying, like in this, oh, look at my hair, sorry, morning time. In this one context, it feels like it didn't matter or mess anything up by doing things slightly out of order. Maybe like OCD or just controlling, very grounded. You could be just a very grounded person and like things to proceed, pursue to these points. But if anything feels like a kind of, maybe even like if somebody passed, and I don't necessarily mean to go so extreme, but it's like I was supposed to go first, or like it seems like it happened out of order. But I feel like everything's happened.
Leo.
Interesting. Happened and happens in divine order. I feel like you have a lot of friends especially somebody in spirits. There might have, I don't know if this card will come through, but there's a face up there. You have a lot of friends. I feel like you're a friendly character, and I don't mean character, but you have character and charisma, but I feel like it's lovely, even though there can be this sternness about it. But I feel grounded. I feel grounded in my element. And maybe when things happen out of order, or, I don't want to dwell on that, I'm kind of in the flood or in the path of somebody else's, possibly even, divinity, that order. And I want to lean in to trust that. Something about friends, some family and forgiveness as well has come through. I feel like maybe you might carry a lot of weight in regards to responsibilities of family and extended family, whatever family means to you. Maybe it's the family and the frequency family of the animal realm, of the plant realm, of the mineral realm, of the human realm.
I'm coming.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of family around you. Now there might be somebody or someone's in your family frequency that forgiveness has had to be requested.
Crying.
And you've had the strength. And this might have been like a passing, like I said, I don't know if it's just, we had always planned it this way, or a friend passed away, or a parent, grandparent, somebody that you would consider close and you would mourn for. And it's like, I either want to forgive myself for being angry when I was going through the grieving process, or I want to forgive myself if they haven't passed and they're still incarnate, if they changed or chose a different path or moved on. It could be separation, romantic or platonic. They made choices and maybe I didn't handle things as much as I'd like, or I had deep-seated resentment, whatever the case may be. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying and how I'm feeling, and you can place it accordingly in one of your multiple paths here. And I'm either at the point where I've already given the forgiveness because I heard the call, or I'm simply forgiving to release it and realize I was also at a place in time where that it felt like it hurt more, just maybe for where I was at that time. But the compassion and the strength to lighten that, whatever I might have been bearing, whatever I do bear. Does that make sense? And something about strength with grace. Something about strength with grace.
Choked.
Yeah, it might have choked you out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like choked up is how I'm hearing it. Anyway, okay, Carissa, I'm going to keep going here. Also, what came through while I was doing your ink is Earth Angel, Disco, the Pointer Sisters Neutron Dance song, Shake It Off and Up, the song Watching the World Wake Up from History, Watching the World Wake Up from History. Sorry, that's horrible tonnage, but the Kiss song, I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. Again, my tone's all over, so that's fine. We're 6 a.m. here. Nature, Gnomes, Brownies, Deep Feeler, Moonlight, Peter Pan, Cleaning Crew, Birch Trees, Cry circled, and the right side, shoulder, and ear. So I feel like there could be your spirit guide or somebody who has passed that is right here. And even when I see light in your load again, just out of my peripheral, I want to cry. And that's okay. And your Inkblot kind of looks like that. Yours came out different. Every so often an Inkblot comes out like this, and it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. And of course, every Inkblot is individual, but okay, so someone is here. If there is somebody in spirit guide, grandfather, partner, lover, best friend, it's not my place to kind of label them, but Okay, I'm going to start scrying the ink. Like I've already yammered on for how long here, but we're going to keep going. Okay. I'm seeing egg beaters. Mixing things up. I'm seeing like mascara blotches. Now, I don't actually think it's mascara in its like makeup form. Okay, this is weird to say. It's like tar and tears. Tar and tears. I feel like I weep and I know it came through in the thing, but I'm suddenly like, I feel
Don't come in.
very deeply for things. Especially when I'm out. Especially when I'm out in nature type thing, but also it's the very thing that helps me have compassion without necessarily being connected to everything. And my throat continuously wants to be cleared. Because it's kind of like, see up here, this is where I'm at. It's almost like these, okay, so I can wander two ways. Oh my goodness, my throat, is this a thing? I don't know, maybe it's just me trying to move through it. Or just early morning. Sexy voice. So sexy. Okay, so I'm seeing like a demon or a virus or like just something like a little goblin, and it's playing with something else. I think it's a sadness of sorts, but they're kind of dancing. So it wanders me into like when I feel very deeply and I'm sad and I cry or I release because of my strength to persevere, pursue, to feel. It's like the angel and the devil on either side, but it's like the maybe
Jacket.
the way I feel about that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that felt so good, and then other times I'm like, I'm almost a little upset at myself that I got upset to that point. Something along that lines. Hopefully that resonates. Or of course, release freely. But then there's like two people like dancing, and they're doing like the old school dance. You know, if they're like their hands are together. Maybe like swing dancing, or like 60s, maybe 60s music. You know, like hand jive. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Some it's fun. It's upbeat. Like even my devil dances, I hear. Like even my devil dances. I'm seeing two. I'm gonna say two, yeah, because I'm seeing it as two, and they are like, if you can see them up there. I don't know if maybe like growing up you felt like, you know, there's mean girls, or you know what I mean, or maybe there's cattiness around you. Maybe you are part of the cattiness, like ha 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 ha. To be honest with you, though, though I can wander through that, how I feel right now, it's like, again, with that friendship, I have a friend I can laugh with, very specifically, somebody I can trust to kind of let go in. And we can laugh about things. Because it helps break it off. It's like there's a cattiness and a cackle, and then just pure conversation that it's like therapeutic, but there's laughing about it. It could even be like a mother or an aunt figure, or a friend that feels that close, that has become part of your frequency family over the time. I'm going to keep going here. It's very busy. Okay, so I'm seeing myself as a guest. Thank you. but I'm seeing myself walking through, I'm going to say a forest or a path, and there's these trees. And I know birch trees came up, but I don't necessarily know that these ones are birch trees. Birch obviously being very obvious for the most part. And they're all tall, and it's like I know them. I know them. Like they're, again, part of a frequency family. And it's not so much like in a cheesy way of like hugging a tree, but they're friends. They're friendly energies. I breathe deeply. Something about crunching, sounds of crunching, the wind, the elements. It's almost like I'm going through a chakra car wash, if I may. Like I can go, and all of these sounds and all of these creatures and elements embodied help me clean. But you give something back. That's the fun part. You give something back. There's a respect and an honor about it. There's that cloud. I'm seeing that cloud. A lot of things are pointing in on me. I don't know if you are a point person for something, the point person of your family, or maybe you just hold a lot of responsibility within the self. I feel like one hand does one thing while the other hand does another thing. You could be very good at multitasking, or you do, as an example, like I do this for my job, but this is my hobby. That's really my passion, my career, or vice versa, something along that lines. Like there's two different things. I see vacuuming as well, or at least what I'm seeing is vacuuming. I'm also seeing is it a rubber chicken? I think it's a rubber chicken. So I'm like in here. Right here. There's like the vacuuming. And when you vacuum, it's like slice and dice. Like I am... Oh, it's bringing me into my one sister who loves to vacuum. Maybe you feel... the spirit box just said Jinn. You might feel that there's... And that's with the cleaning. Being tidy. And I'm not talking about being a clean fanatic or germaphobe. Maybe you are. That's not the way I'm feeling it. But I feel like again, when I was at my sister's, even most recently, we just quickly moved a couch, and she was excited, like quick to vacuum under. It was just funny. It was adorable. And I'm like, okay, you do you. You know, it's quick to clean up things that might have been hidden or weren't aware, or you know what I mean? The opportunity to help move this with a person exposes different things, and, you know, anyway, that's what it feels like. But there's like a slicing and cleansing out. But you might also feel when it came up with the Jinn, and you're welcome to follow that symbology or just resonate with like the dark cloud, if I may. I did bring this out, but I don't know if it'll work. Okay. Like kind of like the dark cloud. Does it seem like it follows you? It's like, not that I'm bad luck or, you know, death follows me kind of, but it's almost like you're a very strong soul in support. Maybe you're in a supportive role a lot to help people transition. Maybe do something for a living, like in hospice or, something in healthcare, or you did. I don't know. Anyway, or you just have the heart for it. But see, like right in here, and then and this is where I'm at, and it could feel like you have that Jinn energy. That's something that kind of follows you around. Could be from your family line. See these big eyes here? So I gotta turn it back again. Sorry. I'm gonna add on some Tarot and Oracle and see if it helps me. The basement. We're here for Carissa. Oh, I keep being asked to see up there, and then as soon as my gaze goes there, it goes all foggy. Could be fear. Could be like the basement of your subconscious. nightmares. Egg beaters, stirring, something's being stirred up. Am I in the subcon realm? Oh, okay, so there's a keyhole portal. These pincher things. Sorry, I'm just going to work through. I'm seeing the bones of past pets. I don't know if yeah, I'll just say that. The bones of past pets. When these kind of ink blots come around, I don't know how to say it. They're just different. They're just different. Push, push. Jackal, truth. There's those dogs. Very loyal to you. I think that's why I'm seeing them in bones forms. Because even if you've had other animals pass around you, they don't have to be dogs. But they're coming through that way symbolically because they're very loyal to your love. It's like, you know how some people can focus or specialize in Reiki or healing for people? Again, in that nursing, healthcare, holistic, whatever landscape it leans in. And then there's some people who focus on animals, like working on a farm, rescue place for it. That's what it feels like. Oh my goodness. Loyalty came right out as I was talking. I didn't even see. Sorry if you want to look at these cards. Like, they're very loyal to your love, and their energy helps stabilize you emotionally. So I might just heard like volunteer somewhere as well. And they're with you infinitely. Fear, release. If there is something in regards to your subconscious basement, fears, like, again, even when I was talking about the dogs, but then here the jaguar comes in and is like fully embracing the power of this feminine energy. The hyena of fear is moving through. Again, there's that like sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. I don't know. I also might feel like there might have been, I was afraid of the dark when I was young. Observation with the Perigene falcon and kindness, flying fox.
Play with me.
You want to take those in? Okay, so this peregrine observation right in here is where I want to place it. Yes, thank you. So this dark cloud, there's also owl feathers in there. Okay. The dark cloud, the subconscious space, fear. You're wise enough. You can place it under the understanding of what I may be trying to talk about. It's actually a place of observation. It could like be the wingspan of something that seems to be blocking out the sun, but it's whatever the falcon means to you. Like, you know, when they say if you want something, focus on it, like have that bird's eye view, the hawk, and they might be sitting up here and they're looking down at their prey way down here. But I feel like in this moment, I'm in like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie, and now I am teeny tiny in the grass, and like the sun in the sky is blocked out by this falcon or this hawk. So I'm unsure if it's a shroud of darkness or a storm's coming or it's a predator, but really I feel like this is symbolic to like somebody coming in, or this energy coming in to like lift me up, to pick me up and then like make me big again. Because even in here in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like there's a person in there. Yeah. See, so it seems so big. And then really I just like reach my hand out and I can touch it, and I'm like, the light, the sun rises as soon as I touch the No, once I touch like between the eyes of the bird, and the light illuminates, and I realize it's kindness. And even with the fruit bat being in the subcon realm, what appears to be a threat is really friendly. And I want to become friends with that kindness to myself first, because there's like an embrace. Because I do think that there's spirits in that can't get past or are observing you from a state of fear or grief, certain frequencies, right? Like I'm seeing like an electrical storm. But they send out this like golden light, almost like a we're loyal and we're loved, but they can feel your emotions. And it's like then I just reach out and I want to say trust. But I realize the fruit bat flying fox, like, is it the bat or the fox? Is it going to bite or is it going to nibble? You know how animals do that. But they are there. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. And when I flip it, I will start adding some scribbles, little divine doodles on the other side. Separate piece of paper, of course. All right, Carissa. Something about the legs, like hips, knees, ankles, and feet, all the way, root legs. I feel, man, your strength to move, or at least how I'm feeling it. Maybe you walk a lot. Strengthen the legs, like could also be DNA, like what moves through you. But bless or a cursing, right? Blessing or a curse. Did I mix those up? A bless or a cursing? Ugh. It's all good. Vacuuming, cleaning things up, like a big sickle of sorts. And then it's like when I see it's not a machete, but it's like almost like a whip. It's like the vacuuming thing again. And I see all these pieces. Am I in a tree? Underneath the tree. But I see it like a mosaic. Sorry if I don't look up. I'm just... Yeah, and now those legs become... They're shifting on me. Thank you. And they're becoming this, like, I'm seeing like the sides of a head, but I'm in like the tree trunk. And I'm sending things out from this. It's like right about here. And I can feel the vibes up here because I'm grounded. I'm wearing this crown that is what once, like maybe the family tree, maybe your placement in the matriarch of the family, something along that lines, or just maybe your nature spirit. And that root red goes right from like the root, I was talking about the feet, to the earth chakra, right? And then it goes right up to throat, third eye, crown. But in like this, I don't want to say linear way, but it kind of feels linear. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm like right in here. Right? So like here's the sides. This is the crown now. And it's like from this crown. Is it wine color? Okay, so we've gone from root red to wine in the crown. And then just outside, again, there's those shoulders and ears I was talking about, but I feel like there's something prominent on the right side. And then it sweeps out. I need to be able to see what sweeps out change. I don't need to. I'm asking my palette of perception to switch.
Sarah.
No, it's not switching on me yet. Okay. Maybe that's what you're feeling, sensing, because we have the crossing initiation over here. Like, whether it's individually or interconnected. Carissa? I just heard Carissa. Can you hear me? Carissa. tidy house, clarity, and we're right in that vacuuming space. Wailing tree, reconciliations. Those two kind of reds. Those two kind of reds. Okay, so this was on the bottom of the deck. Tidy house and the crossing. Please take those in if they mean anything to you. And they like the coloring lands right in here. Because I want to place the crossing of the bridge up in the crown now. And it's lightening up. You know, like if somebody's been squeezing something and they start to release it and it starts to take shape again. Cleaning house, like the vacuuming, the cleaning, the whipping into shape, whatever the case may be, or clearing land, clearing energies. I'm reconciling. That brings me, even though it's, you know how there's the natural wildfires, and then there's also, I've seen people do it out here where they purposely burn a certain portion of, I'm going to say their small forest, because out here, like you anyway, but there's something that they're doing, like if something, there's a dis-ease or something in that one part, and I'm sure there's other reasons why they do it. I have no idea, but I've just seen it done where they purposefully burn a certain part because it's like, I don't want to say sacrificing that is for the betterment of because I don't actually know, but I've just seen it done, and somebody told me about it, why they were doing that, and I just don't remember. That's that forgiveness. Even forgiving oneself. Like, look at all the roots in this tidy house. And I want to place it, like, even in here. Like, there's just so many roots. And if I place it right about here, this vacuuming, whip cleaning, like maybe you're like the black sheep, or you disassociated from certain people in your family. Maybe of guilt, or you weren't sure, but I don't know. That's not my place. Even to the degree, maybe just a lot of them have passed. Magician's sword, confidence in your magic. What is what was unseen. Okay. Now I'm seeing like a candle holder. But it's like made of bones. You know how there's some people that create art with things that they find? My one girlfriend does it. She's very gifted with it. You know, like you can find old animal bones, like when you're out walking or in certain areas, even like branches and stuff. And then you can create something with it, like a wind chime, or maybe it's, you know, it could be like in the witchier ways, but that's just very topical. Is there somebody in... Okay, so it's like a form of sorcery, but I feel like it's very sweet sorcery because it's honoring, again, the animal realm. I don't know if you have an abundance of confidence in your magic, especially with all these different realms. But I feel like the truth is your life purpose is all around you. And seeing compassion in things and being able to create things from it. Whether you're in a hospital or outside in nature, there's life and death all around me, but that doesn't mean to say that that perspective isn't sometimes very overwhelming. Okay, IBM Radon. I'm going to flip it. We're going to head into this direction. You might be even like guide dogs is coming through. Maybe you train guide dogs. Something about dogs is very prominent. Loyalty and love. I'm just going to freely doodle as I take in this perspective. Actually, can I use these to like... sorry. Give me a hot second here. That's better. Okay. A little bit of leverage, right? A little bit of leverage. Maybe that's meaningful to you. All right. I'm going to keep going. Source Carissa, thank you so much for being my muse. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. And thank you very much for stepping forward. Sorry. I don't want to step out too much of your Inkblot. Okay. So yeah, like I feel like I'm turning a page, turning a corner. Sorry, I can't even up here. all that coloring is right there. It's as though I'm seeing everything, all the coloring around the confidence in the sword, whatever the sword symbolically means to you. Carissa, the number 2 just came out. I feel like I'm seeing a needle point. You know, maybe it would say home sweet home, or it would be of something. I'm also seeing gold. So I do feel like they're past. Could be like grandfather or great great grandfather. And they are holding a baby to the side. I don't know if it comes through right here. So it's like I can see it from the side view, and they're holding up a baby. I don't know if it's you. Like when you were a baby. Even if you didn't know this grandfather, they knew you, in obviously in the spirit realm, and it's like you converse with them to incarnate. I kind of feel like you did see them in life, though. I'm getting like
39.
Garden of Eden vibes. I don't know if you are 39, if that means anything to you, or 1939, 39 days. Oh, I'm seeing a pony bow down. Is it a pony or a donkey? Not really sure. That's okay. Did you have a pony growing up? Or whatever the pony may symbolize. It's almost like they're a baby unicorn. Are you a baby unicorn? Are you like a magic baby? And maybe you carry weight with that? Are they like bucking though? They're playing. It's like they're bucking. And I can see them like posing. Very playful. But there's like this thing. It's like every so often this I don't want to, again, I'm not all about giving darkness or the night a bad name. Maybe you did have nightmares. I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing it like, for one reason or another, like Game of Thrones as a dragon, the fire-breathing dragon, but I'm only seeing the parts where, like, maybe the snout, because I'm not actually seeing it as a dragon, so I don't, for me, that symbology is not landing to carry me, because it's being asked me to focus on, like, just the fire breathing down. Then it brings me into that forest fire thing again. And then it brings me into that reconciliation. Like, it seems so hostile. Angry, but really it's like cleaning and clearing the weepings, so I can have space to reconcile. And it's like, utilize my nose as being, it's so itchy right now. There could also be something about the land you live on or near, if it's okay, well, it's something about indigenous land, all being indigenous land, but there could be something prominent, sacred about that, the curse or the blessing. Maybe you can sense that, but I feel as though, like, if there was previous wars, or if there was tribe to tribe battles, or tribe to non-tribe, right, the colonial to whatever wordage people use right now. And there's something actually about hump day for me, the hump of the week, like getting over the hump of this by your presence, walking a particular path, by just walking. I walk with the winds of change. I walk with the winds of even what was a curse. And it's like I sweep the energy. I work with the honor and understanding without punishing the present. Does that make sense? So it's like, I just heard like Band-Aids. The Band-Aids. if there was band-aids put on anything. Sorry, I'm going to come back to your watching the world wake up from history. So it's like band-aids being ripped off of, I'm going to go with like energy on the land. You are not the band-aid is how I'm feeling. Maybe it might feel like that sometimes. Anyway, so, and by doing this, you know, when you rip that band-aid off and like all these, it's like, oh.
Guide.
But imagine that moment is expressed over a generation or many generations. Like that's what's being held on to, is that moment versus the whole band-aid moment of putting it on because there was a hurt, there was a war, there was a fight, there was a disagreement. We can go on and on.
Respect.
A band-aid was put on, and the band-aid is off over here, and it's breathing. And yes, it might be, you know, scabbing or something or other, but it's breathing to truly heal. But it seems like the moment the band-aid's been ripped off is a hyper focus. I don't know if this is individually or collectively, but it's like, what? That's just, it's like it's frozen in time, but it keeps reverbing this tearing of this band-aid off. Okay, so, and then it feels like it, just by that happening, it's revealing this. See how there's the indigenous in the tree. By that happening, it's not so much that it's being about it, it's just pain. It's raw and real. And that's where I feel like I'm in your Inkblot. It's like then this energy entity that one self or all selves are stuck on for a little bit, or maybe it's just in your general area. Even if it's spirits, the spirits of nature that have been holding this energy as you walk through, it's bringing kindness in to say, breathe. Breathe. The band-aid has been ripped off. The band-aid has been ripped off. I'm also getting like psychopomp vibes. Again, if you're working in healthcare or something along that lines, or there's just been a lot of transition of life to death around you, somebody who guides people and walks with them peacefully towards the next transition, and it's like hands them off to, like one guide hands them off to the next guide in their respective realms. Again, and you have all these paths, you have all these realms. Plant, you know, mineral, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I don't even know what was happening over here. Seeing a shovel. And arrowheads, like you might find arrowheads as well. There's, I'm seeing like old trees with like roots sticking out. I feel like you have at least two guides quite specifically. Maybe you have two children, but or, you know, those two pets, those loyal pets. I feel very protective over the roots. Okay, when I say protective, but then, and like hoops and loops that are kind of like nooses. So again, it's like I can go either way with this. The rabbit holes of like finger pointing to like save this tree, to shaking things up in the root system, allowing things to be freed. So they're not, these frequencies, these people, these families, the frequencies aren't held. I'm also seeing a cat. And this cat is from like a cartoon. And it's like if I saw a cat comic. It's a comic strip, like face pressed up against the window. And like this cat is holding on to two things, but it's like being pulled apart. Okay, so there was like, what is that torture they used to do way back in the day, is like tie a person by limbs. Like this is, oh my goodness.
Only for you.
You know, when they used to like tie the limbs and then they would pull them apart. Like I feel like something used to happen on the land in regards somewhere around you. Maybe it's in your province or your state. I don't know. Maybe you're just very sensitive to it, to like a courthouse or something along that line. Maybe that's how you feel. Maybe this is past life stuff, and I am being pulled apart. There's also like the nooses, like these punishments. There are guns being pointed at these roots. Like, I don't know if it's like your family frequency. It doesn't matter, because I feel like you're very connected. But if you understand that, like, finger pointing and blaming and punishment, but I feel like that's being the hyper focused held on to, and it's punishing the present. I don't know if it's intended to punish, but it is. Okay, so I'm going to wander down even farther here. Oh, I'm going to go over there. Sorry. And as I'm gazing, I'm going to go over to your doodle here, if you want to take that in. Wonderful. Because there's movement being made. I don't know if this is something I feel I've gone through in life or something I can sense around me collectively, but then see how it all transforms up into like this Garden of Eden vibes. I do feel like I had to bury somebody I love. Possibly up to 2 people. This is 2 people. Carissa. And then it brings me into I was made for loving you. So maybe you did lose a partner. And I'm seeing a Tetris piece. Hex. Be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. This is that bless or cursing. Oh my God, I did it again. Okay, you're going to take me down there in the subcon seeds. It's like watching the world wake up from history and not changing history to disregard what was the history, but it's like remaining very present in the here and now, that I am creating history. I am making history in the way I decide to interact with all that is. Carissa. There's another little heart in there as well. Lots of hearts, lots of love. I don't know if I'm seeing like a pond or like a blob.
Drowned.
Make peace with your past is on the bottom. Again, all that very red. Drowned. Did somebody drown in this pond? Or this body of water near you? Maybe you know somebody who passed. You sense their spirit. Against that, it's bringing me into that psychopomp stuff. If it's not personal, maybe you sense it around this pond. It's almost like I'm looking at like a map of a park, like a national park or a trailer park, or like a recreational space. And then it's like there's this. Like I want to like do that. It's like there's energy that moves through it. So like if this was the whole park, like the pond's up here, go here, you can, have lunch here, but there's something that moves through it. I don't want to say portal, maybe vortice. I don't know what it is. It could be water. There's something that runs through it. So we have here hex, protection, and oblivion. Open your arms. I will bring these up as we're getting ready to close. So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. So when I wander into, okay, I'm not going to give it all that power, but I understand the feeling, how it can feel, right? That hex. But I also want to know, because there's so much, it's like the blessings and the cursings. They are mixed down here. The history of your heart, the history of human and holistic existence, and the interconnected nature of the hurts and the healings, they are mixed. The light and the dark, it's very prevalent. Prevalent is the word coming through. I'm seeing eyes. They look like feminine eyes. like those brownies and gnomes dancing around. There's like white flame fire of like purity and innocence, set personal boundaries. That means I'm allowed to, how I'm feeling at those spikes. Like, see the spikes on her back. Sorry if I have stuff in my, I was in the garden before I sat down as well. It's like in your Inkblot, all these specks of white. It's like, if need be, it's like, if I feel like some hex is coming at me or an energy that I don't dig. It's not about being uncomfortable enough to help heal it, but, predator feel. Doesn't have pure intention or intention that is aligned with me, because there's no judgment. There's no judgment if we think differently, did walk differently, talk differently, all that kind of stuff from like a historical space. It's like a purity of intention alignment with no judgment. And as soon as I feel that, I can like press a part, maybe it's even like my heart, or I press a button and all those spikes, light spikes come shooting off. And then from there, I feel like I'm healing or helping my own healing. Because now it's not the spikes of protection, because I'm always protected. And I trust that now, especially with these people in spirit, like looking over you, they're very relevant from the beginning. Okay, that's fine. I've lost. Oh, there they are up there. In the friendship. Start at the very beginning.
Supporters.
Very good place to start. There it is. Thank you. The spirit face way up there. So now that I've kind of, at least how I'm feeling, I've released these spikes towards, and they know, like if anyone comes at you, and I'm using that word probably incorrectly, but you know what I'm saying, with that intention to stir or to help me, or not help me, but to try and drive me back to this hyper focus. No, focus on the pain. And it's like, well, I'd like to move towards breathing. So everyone's just at different places. But now I feel like, now that those spiky things have been able to release, maybe I've been through the height of my grief, the height of something, and now these soft flowers are coming in, like my angel wings, and I can open my symbolic arms back up to receive from the realms for my ultimate well-being. And this includes making peace with the past and knowing the truth, and not necessarily having the same truths as everyone else around me, but respecting that. Does that make sense? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's close out here for Carissa. Again, thank you so much. I will include your papier and such there. All right, closing out for Carissa. Thank you. I want to kind of close up wandering from this very shamanic space. No, it's just having something about very ancient land, but okay. Release the dark wound, let love live. Sacred Fool. Spirals of manifestation. I will show them to you in one moment. Can we end with the poker hand? Do we have any more? Relax and hold of darkness and be at cause. Oh, okay. Receiving. On the bottom is collaborative dreaming. Like I said, I kind of felt like it's if this isn't like an actual, even the coloring kind of aligns here. It feels like subconscious, conscious, pre-conscious, right? Like that has come up. Like this is all a dream, but it's a interconnected, interactive dream. Okay, so we'll start up here. Release the dark wound, let love in, Sacred Fool. Spirals of manifestation. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause and receiving. It's like going fishing, learning how to fish and putting the fish back in the water. Well, I just said, it's like learning how to fish and put the fish back in the water. And I say that because right here, this person, this energy, this earthly energy is fishing, but it's putting it back in the water. It's like understanding catch and release, cause and effect. Fire, burn, fire, cleansing. Chaos, all that kind of stuff, all the feelings in and around me. I'm also seeing something with, I think it's like a T-Rex foot. T-Rex foot. I don't know if you live somewhere where like there's a lore or it could even just be dinosauric, but I for simplicity's sake, because I'm not smart enough in those areas. Yeah, like just Bigfoot. Also, I noticed that there could be like somebody who walks with two different feet. So on one hand, they are like, again, I'm going to, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say the devil and the angel. It's like one leg is of each. And then their expression unites those as they go fishing for frequencies. And there's another gentleman that sits and waits. I say gentleman, but I don't actually know. It's another energy that is waiting with a club. Like, I feel like I'm back in like caveman days. Like, what's going on here? And there's a fire. Fire's burning, fire's burning. Like, are we going to cook? Like, one's going to club the fish, one's going to catch the fish. I'm not really sure. What an interesting little side story. And then there's like this very blatant, what I'm going to call empathic kind of nature or feeling.
Bedroom.
It's very, very pure. Maybe that's where you feel the most place. The bedroom is the place you feel most able to release. It's bringing me into like when I was young and nightmares and like peeing the bed or something like that. Because there's just a lot. Like, I'm very sensitive. I'm very empath, or whatever your gift or sensitivity may be. It doesn't have to be like peeing the bed, but it could be like just crying a lot, feeling pain, but then I'm also getting like Aquarius vibes, the water bearer quite specifically. And like, as we were talking about, like where you walk, just your energy, it's like your feelings can give to others who need water. Hydrating, holistic hydration. Putting the fish back in the water to release the wounds and let band-aids ripped off. I want love to live again. Sacred Fool. This can all feel very jovial. This can feel jovial. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. This is all that light again. Spirals of manifestation. Your spirals of manifestation were also, in your doodle. Remember I was talking about like that vortice or something? It's also like one of those things, like if you're going through your family lineage or stories or something like that and you find things out, it's like, it's bringing me into like that jinn thing. You might be uncovering things that somebody tried very hard to cover up. But it's almost like remembering, I'm back in the trees when I see and be a cause. I'm going to cause my 2 feet in a heartbeat to walk wherever. And I'm going to receive the light from the trees, like their efforts of synthesizing. I receive. Like they are, and it's like music to my ears, as one would say, and on the shoulder. It's music to my ears, but I can feel it beyond the ears. And that came up early on, something about the right shoulder, the right ear. to help me replenish the space around me. That is beautiful, because it's like a detox. Oh my goodness. It's like a detox. Like I can just lay in a forest floor or on my grass or on my wood floors if you don't live somewhere, where it's immediate. I can call it. I can ask. I can step forward. And the very essence of this allows me to, like, if this person, there we go. It's like just resting, and all of this is moving in. This lightness is moving in, even amongst like the autumn time of the perceived death. It's like that essence of letting go and being covered in the foliage of things. Feels light. Something about pearls as well. Pearls. Okay. Carissa, thank you so much for being my muse. I am completely honored and humbled, and I look forward to seeing you again.